As I began my second year in the Texas Conference, I find myself in a reflective and optimistic mood. When I arrived in this office on January the 3rd, 2023, I was excited and terrified all in the same breath. But it didn't take me long to realize that I was exactly where God wanted and needed me to be. I was welcomed by lay and clergy who were ready for a new day, ready to see what God had in store. You were exhausted and depleted in many ways, and yet you were ready and you knew that God was doing a new thing, and you didn't want to miss the opportunity to be a part of God's new and holy plan. We accomplished so much in a short time. As I look back, I'm not exactly sure how we were able to do what we did in such a compressed amount of time. I spent the year listening and relearning a conference I thought I knew. I met with many people. The 7 visits around the conference made it abundantly clear that this was a new conference filled with faithful and resilient followers of Jesus. It was more apparent than ever that God was with us and the road before us, while uncertain, was paved with prayer. Now, given the realities, it was obvious that change was and continues to be in our future. Moving from 9 to 5 districts was the right next step. Members of the conference leadership team began working in February, and lay and clergy leaders across the conference met with them, and together they drafted a resolution by mid-March that passed at annual conference without a question and was nearly unanimous. Annual conference was a shift in the conference tectonic plates. We sat at tables, we had conversations, there was no bickering. Instead, there was a divine and holy uniting. A resolution for our new life together in the Texas Annual Conference painted a picture that took us to the precipice of possibility to revive, renew, reinvigorate, and reimagine a new way of being, a new way of living into our intended call. While acknowledging the recent disaffiliations, there's a prevailing sense of settling. We're embracing a new normal filled with hope and not yet seen possibilities. This transformative period is marked by curiosity and a renewed focus on vitality that's spurred by the generous gift from the Lilly Endowment of $1.25 million. Now, moving forward, you will begin to hear more about new measures of vitality, clarity, witness, abundance, kinship, and joy. It's so exciting. I cannot wait to see how these measures of vitality begin to seep into our culture. Our approach to work is evolving as we align with our realities. But excitement is brewing as more individuals express enthusiasm to serve where needed, as committees adapt to new ways of approaching ministry. You know, I love to hear from you. Your imagination and your creativity and collaborative spirit is just so exciting and refreshing. I always love when a good idea comes together and is shaped by grace as we connect with others for even greater possibilities. So keep those ideas coming. Our footprint across the 53 counties in Texas is expanding and it's deepening, and will even go to greater depths as we rely on our profound connection. Friends, the Spirit is moving among us. Today brings extravagant generosity, love, and unforeseen possibilities. We are the resilient and resolute Texas Annual Conference, courageous, undeterred, and firmly believing that our brightest days lie ahead, guided by the unwavering presence of God. In our first chapel service of the year, Reverend Deborah Hallbalt adapted a blessing for birthdays from Douglas Kane McKelvey's book, Every Moment Holy. She adapted into a prayer for us as we begin the new year, and I share it with you today. How marvelous it is, O Lord, that you contemplated each of us before we were made. How marvelous that you considered and created us, decreeing the very time and place that each of us should enter the world to live out our part of your grand story. We gather to celebrate and to give thanks that our life and days are woven together, that we might share the joys and burdens of life together, delighting in the ways your glory is reflected in the unrepeatable gift of our being. You have created each of us, O Lord, to bear your image in unique expression, reflecting a facet of your glory in a way that no other person in all of history will, so that by knowing one another, we might also know you better. Bless our lives in the year to come. May we know the comfort of your presence, the certainty of your purpose, and the consolation of your love at work in our lives. Grant us wisdom, maturity, vision, and passion in increasing measure, that we might be instruments well honed for the building of your kingdom. Bless us with loving family and enduring friendships, that we might make our journey ever surrounded by the steadying companionship of fellow pilgrims. May we invest our moments well in the coming year and in all years to follow, living life with the end in view, in pursuit of that eternal prize that will allow us to look ever with gladness and never with regret upon the passing of our years, as each subsequent year will be but the marking of a step nearer to the final fulfillment of all we have so long hoped and labored for. Amen and amen.